Hopefully you fasten your seatbelts for the next 2 hours.
Right.
That's nonsense, Clint. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
I don't care what you buy.
That's nonsense.
My feeling.
You're not just buying a racetrack. You're buying a piece of American racing history right there. I mean, that's huge. The history behind the track, just mind-boggling.
You hear a lot of rumors in the rumor mill. I'll just keep tuning in to you guys to hear the truth when it comes down to it. So
don't do that. I've already had one dose of tin hat syndrome today. I don't need a second one.
Stuart Friesen said to Brett, he says, "Why don't you bring us to more places like this?" And Brett goes, "There isn't any other place like this."
Race fans, it's time to throw it up on the cushion and get dirty. Coming to you live from the Finger Lakes and Southern Tier, it's time for Turn 5 Live. Now, your hosts of Turn 5 Live, Steve Ovens, Clint Miller, and Brad Ovens.
Welcome aboard, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Steven Ovens coming to you solo tonight with tonight's episode of Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Appreciate you folks tuning in to us tonight. We are coming at you with a pre-recorded episode here tonight as we are making our way out to the 5 Mile Point Speedway out in Kirkwood, New York. The Super Dirt Car Series invading 5 Mile Point here tonight in a race that was a fantastic finish back in 2015. Between Stuart Friesen and Pat Ward. So we're really looking forward to getting out there to see Andy Harpel and all the folks out there at the 5 Mile Point Speedway. So if you're tuning into us, listening live as well, pull up Race Monitor, pull up whatever you have to follow along. We'll be live tweeting and on Facebook from the event as well, as far as updates, not live video, just live update type of thing. So be sure to check that out and follow us along as we're out at 5 Mile Point. A busy, busy weekend on the dirt. We've got complete coverage from Outlaw Speedway, Woodhall Raceway. We've also got results coming in from Chemung Speedrome. We've also got results coming in from the Hill Speedway as they continue on. Had an opportunity to go out and check out the Hill Speedway while working out in that area here within the last week. And if you didn't get a chance, go over to the Turn 5 Live Facebook page, facebook.com/Turn5Live. You can take a look at the pictures. We've got one big panoramic picture that we took out there while visiting the Hill Speedway, just to check out everything they've got going on out there. And those guys really doing a great job in their first, I guess, half season, we'll say here, as they were working on the racing surface to get new clay down and get that all right before they continued on with anything else. So it's really neat to see everything that they're working on and doing out there at the Hill Speedway. But yeah, I'll tell you, it has been a crazy, crazy week. Got to start out the episode tonight talking about Logan Schuchart. I mean, how about it for Logan Schuchart? First career World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series win. When we're all on the program next Tuesday night, I know Clint Miller is going to be wanting to talk all about that. We have followed Shark Racing since the moment they took out onto the World of Outlaws tour, and it's hard to believe that was 3 seasons ago. I was just talking to Jacob Seelman and Tom Baker on Motorsports Madness about that just last night as they were broadcasting live from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And they're actually going to be pretty soon here. They'll be broadcasting from a brand new studio down there in NASCAR country, as the entire PMN production is going to be moving down there and will be operated by the folks that you hear every week on Performance Motorsports Network and RaceChaserOnline.com and all the great work that we're putting together over there. So that's going to be exciting for sure. And we were talking to them about the fact that, there's 2 really big things that were huge about that win for Logan Schuchart. Number one, it was absolutely huge just to get the World of Outlaws win because he has been so close so many times. We've even seen him be that close right here in our own backyard at the Weedsport Speedway. And boy, that had to have been just a heartbreaker for Logan, as he was so incredibly close to picking up that first win when the car adjustments went away on him just a little bit and wasn't able to pull that through. But to see him go to Cedar Lake Speedway, not only get the win, but beat Donnie Schatz to do it, beat one of the best on the World of Outlaws circuit, a multi-time champion. He has just been, he doesn't yet have numbers, and I don't know that he'll reach the numbers of a Steve Kinzer. But I'll tell you, as far as modern day goes, and the level of competition in which he competes with right now, to beat a guy like Donnie Schatz is just an incredible feat. I said to those guys last night that it's not as though Logan Schuchart went and won a race in which a lot of the top contenders were knocked out, because that was not the case. He got passed by Joey Saldana, got back by Saldana, and then as Donnie Schatz was coming up through while they were battling lap traffic, Schuchart holds him off, continues to run in just a fantastic race behind the wheel of that Shark Racing 1S. And you gotta give a tip of the cap to Logan Schuchart, Shark Racing, his grandpa Scruffy, everybody that has been a part of that effort. And we're hoping that we'll be able to get a word with Logan here in the next couple weeks. They have, as the month of money starts, they have got an incredibly busy schedule coming up here that they're going to be working with. So, hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to catch up with Logan and have him on the program here to talk about that first win and just what it means for his career, because this is really going to be huge. I really believe that this is what that team needed to either try and attract a bigger sponsor for their team to have themselves a little bit better funded, or the other thing that I think is a possibility is maybe this gets Logan Schuchart out there and could possibly get him a good ride with another team. I don't know if that's on the table. That'd be an interesting question to ask him. Does this mean that this could open a door for you with another team? And if that door opened up, would you take it? Would he want to go away from that family-run team as they have had? Certainly, if they were able to bring in a bigger sponsor to kind of help them out a little bit, I think that would be great. They seem to be able to run the tour, and they've had good runs, and there's been nights when they've been off, but I think that's the case for any driver out there. So, I think they're in a very, very respectable position. You've got to appreciate what they're doing with what they have to work with. We talk to even the local drivers about this all the time, making things work with what they have to work with. And that just makes those wins like Logan Schuchart got at Cedar Lake Speedway, it just makes them that much sweeter. So to talk about that, congratulations to Logan Schuchart, the whole team there. There was some racing this weekend. Not a lot of wing sprint racing. Not only the Patriot Sprint Tour, but the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints were off this past weekend. So not a lot of Winged Warrior action to talk about. But boy, were the modifieds busy. Super Dirt Car Series really ramped up here in the last week with events all over the place. Albany, Saratoga, Mohawk. They're at 5 Mile Point Speedway tonight on Tuesday night. And it has been a pretty grueling schedule for those guys. And we'll talk about the week that was for Stuart Friesen, picking up, I believe the total was $21,000 in a matter of 3 nights. And that included wins with the Super Dirt Car Series. It included a huge win at Accord Speedway on the Short Track Super Series. And, it's just been a great run for him. But we're going to talk all about that. And we've got Victory Lane interviews, and we've got some race breakdown from Outlaw Speedway. We've got some audio clips from the racing action on Friday night to kind of help tell the story. And then, of course, the winner interviews down in Outlaw Victory Lane. Then we'll also get into everything from the Woodhall Raceway, as they had a big night on Saturday night as well, Christmas in July at Woodhall, and that was a lot of fun. And boy, what an exciting finish on several of those divisions, and we've got some audio to kind of help you tell that story. We'll talk about all the winners from the Hill Speedway out there in Monroe, Pennsylvania. I know Jake Maynard's going to want us to talk about the Pennsylvania Posse, and we'll definitely talk about them. We'll also kind of talk about Brad Smith picking up a huge win at Skyline when Kenny Schrader was in attendance. And, of course, Skyline's got a big event coming up this Sunday. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Glad you've joined us here on the program. We'll step aside for our first break. When we come back, we'll dive right into everything at the Outlaw Speedway. You're listening to Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the home of grassroots racing.
Max Dairy Bar is a proud supporter of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Opened in 1974, Max Dairy Bar has been a Penn Yan, Cayuga Lake, and Yates County staple, serving the best Hershey's hard ice cream. They also have soft serve ice cream, their weekly yogurt special, sorbet flavors, gluten-free options, frozen Greek yogurt, and non-dairy lemon ice. Don't forget about their tricky 18-hole putt-putt course that will test your skill to see if you have what it takes to be a champion. Max Dairy Bar and Mini Golf, located on State Route 14A, just south of the village of Penn Yan, right on the way to Black Rock Speedway on Friday nights. Visit them online at www.maxdairybar.com or Max Dairy Bar on Facebook and Twitter. Stop by Max Dairy Bar and tell them Turn 5 Live sent you.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi, race fans. This is Adam Del Grosso, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Hi, Adam Del Grosso bringing us back from commercial break here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen Ovens coming to you tonight, running solo as we are all out at the 5 Mile Point Speedway, checking out the action with the Super Dirt Car Series. So follow us along on Facebook and Twitter at Turn 5 Live on Twitter and Facebook.com/Turn 5 Live for all of the latest and greatest out at the 5 Mile Point Speedway. Diving into Pepsi, a fan autograph night at the Outlaw Speedway this past Friday, July 8th. We'll start off with the Friendly Dodge and Ford Modifieds. They had 17 cars in attendance, 30 laps the distance, and the streak continues. Alan Johnson picks up a feature win on Friday night, and that now makes it 42 straight seasons with a feature win in his career, which spans all the way back to 1975. And that is just an incredible number. Alan is one of the, he is in a class of just a few drivers, dirt modified legend status, going to the Hall of Fame without a doubt. This is a driver that, you can't really put his numbers up against many others. I mean, there are guys with streaks almost as high as Alan's as well. You've got guys like Billy Pouch. You've got guys like Brett Hearn that are right behind Alan by a couple of years as far as the winning streak goes. But ever since Alan Johnson has competed, and think about this too, guys. You look at Alan Johnson's streak. He was able to extend it to 40 years, 2 seasons ago at a special event when Dan Harpel promoted the track as Yates County Speedway. Last season picked up a feature win it was then called Black Rock Speedway to extend it to 41 years, and now this season, Friday night, picks up a feature win on Friday with 4 laps to go, and extends the streak to 42 straight seasons. We've got audio, and we'll go right to that last restart, the key of the race, when Alan Johnson took the lead from Tyler Seary. Seary had a big problem on the 5-star, so let's take a listen as they got ready for that restart with 4 laps to go. Seary leads them back to the green. We're underway. Oh, problems for Seary in the 5-star. Something is broke on the 5-star.
I bet he broke an axle.
That was weird, Mel. What was that?
Bet he broke an axle the way that car went around. Probably got on it a little too hard and snapped an axle.
That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Whatever it was, it started digging into the track a little bit down here. The clay was flying.
That dust or smoke coming out of the engine.
It does look like smoke. Now, Mel, I mentioned this, I think, on one of the cautions previous. I talked to Alan and his crew in the pit area this afternoon, and I said, guys, you've been so close this season. What's it going to take to get that car in victory lane? And the first thing they said was, we just need a little bit of luck.
Alan Johnson with 2 laps to go to make it 42 years in a row with a feature win during his illustrious racing career.
Payne by Fultz for the second spot, but off of turn 4. One more trip around the fast 4/10 mile, trying to make it 42 straight years with a feature victory. Driver out of Middlesex, New York, driving the friendly Ford. 14J, he's going to do it. Alan Johnson, AJ Slideways will get the win. Steve Payne will finish second. Brady Fultz third. Justin Wright, what a run from the back for fourth. And Corey Costa rounds out your top 5. So how about that one? Alan Johnson picks up the big win there on Friday night, 42 straight seasons. Steve Payne was second, Brady Fultz third, Justin Wright fourth, Corey Costa the top 5. Then it was Gary Tompkins, Darrell Hilkert, Marcus Dinkins, Ron Cartwright Jr., and Lee Bills finishing out your top 10 finishers. That was just big, real big. We talked to Alan Johnson in Victory Lane. Here's what he had to say about making it 42 straight seasons. Well, I'm going to get the big elephant out of the room first. 42 straight seasons. What a run for your driving career here. Well, and all over the place.
Yeah, it is. It's just, I was fortunate to be in the right place at the right time tonight. I had a good car, but, there's no, I don't think there was any catching him. But, sometimes you just got to be in the right spot at the right time.
I stopped over and saw you guys earlier this afternoon, and you guys said we've been strong. We just need a little bit of luck, and maybe that's all it took tonight.
Yeah, we've been knocking on the door, and as you consistently keep knocking on the door, sooner or later someone's going to let you in. So, just happy we got it off our back. I was getting mid-year, getting a little nervous about it, but knew we had a good car, and just hung in there.
And, we start to get into the summer stretch now, and this is going to be a great point tonight for you guys, too.
Yeah, it is. But there's a lot of races to go yet, I think. But it's here. It's probably a matter of who has the less DNFs. it gets a little rowdy out there at times, and you got to be in the right place at the right time. Be lucky to avoid a lot of it.
And your race tonight, I mean, you were forward, you were back, you were forward again. What was it about this car tonight that got you back to the front?
Oh, I don't know. You know, we were just we were just in a couple of restarts. We were just in the right lane, you know, and a couple incidents happened. We happened to be in the right lane, and you know, things just went our way.
And went their way it did. A big win there for them on Friday night. Moving on to the Crate Sportsman division, they had 15 cars in attendance for their 25-lap feature, and Brent Ayers, big win for that team. They have had a lot of struggles this season, getting caught up in messes of, you know, not their own making. And so a big win for Brent Ayers there on Friday night. Brett Buno had a tremendous battle with Todd Hayward for the second spot. Finally got by with about 6 or 7 laps to go. He would go on to finish second, but nobody was catching Ayers. Hayward, I believe that's going to be a career run for him. In third, Lauren Lincoln fourth. Chris Fisher, who passed 2 or 3 cars on the last lap, came home with a top 5. 6 through 10, your new point leader, Tommy Collins Jr. in the 713. Chris Silvers was second. Dale Welty, Chris Silvers was 7th. Dale Welty 8th. Mike Jackson 9th. Stacy Jackson the top 10. And before we get into Brent Ayers' interview, taking a look at the modified point race after Friday night, Steve Payne out in front, commanding 28-point lead over Alan Johnson, who moves up to second now. Tyler Seary has had some rough starts here the last couple of weeks. He drops back now to the 3rd spot in points, 42 points behind the leader and 14 points behind Alan Johnson for that second spot. Brady Foltz now moves up to 4th spot in the point race, 52 points behind the leader. And Ron Cartwright Jr., 59 points out of the lead, and that's less than a full race. So we've got a lot of racing left to go here. And don't forget, last points night there in September is double points. So don't forget, championship night is a double points race. So Brent Ayers picked up the win in the Crate Sportsman. Let's hear what he had to say in Victory Lane about taking the 29 car to the lane.
Yeah, we've been fast for, you know, the last few weeks. We just haven't had any luck. And, you know, tonight I went out and won the heat, and I didn't realize I won by, you know, half a straightaway till I got in there. And then, you know, tonight Brady Foltz comes up to me and says, get on the high side and don't move. So, you know, it didn't really matter where I put the car, it would stick, but the high side was, I mean, it was just a place I needed to be.
Been a lot of drivers we've talked to tonight that said, you know, we've had a strong car this season, we've just needed a little bit of that race and luck, and you guys have been fit that description this year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, it got to the point where we were just getting sick of, you know, just having the bad luck and, you know, spending countless hours in the shop week in and week out. But, you know, when you get something like this, it seems to pay itself off. So
hopefully this will turn the season around for you guys.
Yeah, we're hoping so.
So big win there for Brent Ayers in the Davison Construction 29 car. Looking at the Crate Sportsman points after Friday night, Tom Collins Jr., the 713, he now is your point leader after going into the night tied for the point lead. Dale Welty, who finished 2 spots behind Collins, will now trail him by 4 points. Chris Fisher, those cars he passed on the last lap, that was big, moves him up to the 3rd spot in points and just 5 points behind the leader, 1 point behind Dale Welty for second. Then we got a little bit of a gap back to A.J. Lloyd, who had a tough night, broken front end for A.J. Lloyd in the 1F. He is now sitting 4th in the point race, and Mike Jackson rounds out the top 5, just 33 points behind the leader and 13 points behind A.J. Lloyd. So that is the Crate Sportsman. We'll move on to the Crate Late Models. And 5 cars in attendance for their 20-lap feature. And there was an announcement earlier this week that the Crate Late Model purse was cut from $750 to win to $500 to win. And I know there was a lot of discussion about that as far as the Crate Late Models were concerned. And, you know, I will, you know, try my best to kind of keep my opinion out of it as a track employee. But what I will say is, I think I think the fact that the division didn't quite take off as fast as they had hoped that it would is one reason that's led us to where we are now. And I think another thing too as well is the fact that, you know, a lot of guys have come and have, you know, taken personal issue to the track conditions, and so, you know, now with the system set up, you know, it goes back to a full purse once they have 12 cars in attendance. But I think it's going to be challenging because, you know, we saw on social media Friday afternoon crate late model drivers conversing with each other, trying to figure out who's going to Outlaw, who's not going to Outlaw. Is there going to be 12 cars there? Well, there's, you know, this group of drivers that's not going, so there's 3 or 4 cars there, and without those guys, we'll never get to 12, so we're going to stay home too. And so it's really a double-edged sword right now. And what is the future for the division? I don't know. The question, and we saw Dan Harpel go through this exact same thing 2 seasons ago. He tried to stick it out with the crate late models, and to Dan's credit, he stuck with them throughout the year. And in the 305 sprints was another group, same scenario. But you also have to think about the business side of it, and can they keep that division going at that high purse rate with only 5 cars? I mean, that's a big loss for the track. And I know there's some out there that are going to say, well, you're never going to get cars if you don't commit and stick to the division. But on the other hand, if you're committing all of these funds and resources to that division and the guys aren't coming out to support it, regardless of, you know, everybody knows that there is an issue with the surface. The, you know, Outlaw Speedway needs to be resurfaced. Nobody denies that. Everybody knows that needs to happen. But what I'm afraid of is the fact that, you know, the crate late model guys are going to give up on the speedway before the track gets resurfaced and before they can show, you know, that commitment that, you know, we're working on the track, we're doing everything that we can possibly do. But I think now we've seen the downfall in the car count. Now the purse has been cut, and maybe that's going to even limit even more guys that may have ventured out to come race at Outlaw. I think there's a whole bunch of scenarios here working all at the same time that, you know, I don't know. Does this division make it through the rest of 2016? Does this division come back in 2017? There's a lot of folks out there that say there's already too many divisions before the crate late models got added in 2016. So it's going to be very interesting. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't think that we would be having this discussion about the crate late models versus the IMCA modifieds. With now the Hill Speedway opening up, I thought that this was going to be a conversation we were going to be having about the IMCA cars, not the crate late models. But, you know, it's everybody has to make the decision that's right for their race team. And in that same regard, I think the Speedway is taking these steps necessary that they need to make sure that the track remain, you know, not even profitable, but, you know, at least breaks even so that the racetrack is not losing, you know, is not hemorrhaging a large amount of money. So that's kind of the deal on the crate late models from this past week. They had 5 cars. Brian Knowles got his 3rd straight win of the season. Jason Knowles was 2nd, Bob Buno 3rd, Adam Depew 4th, and Frank Wary Jr. rounded out the top 5. The heat winner was Brian Knowles. He led all 20 laps in the event. And looking at the crate late model points for the Rush-sanctioned late models, Jason Knowles still out in the lead, 6-point lead now over his brother Brian. Depew is 3rd in points, 48 points behind the leader. John Waters, who was not in attendance Friday, is now 62 points behind in 4th. And Frank Wary Jr., the cranker, 66 points back there in the top 5. So that is, we'll get back to some more results and interviews from the Outlaw Speedway right after this on Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm going to do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up. See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time. What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
If you're a gearhead and you just can't get enough of your favorite motorsports on that channel on the cable, or you look at that Guy network and you just go, what does that have to do with me? We have the answer. Performance Motorsports Network. Right here on the internet. The best cruising tunes, the best in motorsports programming, and the best shows. We have opinionated hosts, and we like it that way. If you want to get involved, if you want to bench race, be listening for information coming up soon right here on this channel, the Performance Motorsports Network, your source for motorsports.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi, race fans. This is Gary Tompkins, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
I haven't had the Gary Tompkins re-entry on here on Turn 5 Live in quite a while, so nice to break that out of the basket and present that to you here tonight. Steve Ovens coming to you with a pre-recorded episode tonight of Turn 5 Live here if you're listening live to us on Tuesday night, or if you're listening to us a little bit later in the week on our YouTube channel, youtube.com, and search Turn 5 Live. However you listen to us, maybe you're listening to us on the re-air on the PMN app. Go to the iTunes store or the Droid Google Play Store and search PMN Radio app, and we can pull that app up and listen to us every Tuesday night at 7:30, or you can catch all the re-airs of all the great PMN programming that we have here on the network. You can catch all of that, and stay tuned to everything on asphalt, dirt, across the country, across the world, that we've got it all here on PMN, so be sure to check all of that out. Getting back to some finishes and interviews from the Outlaw Speedway this past Friday night. We'll go into the Farmers Insurance IMCA Modifieds, 15 cars in attendance there, 20 laps the distance. And how about it for Sean Bruce? 4th win in the season and 3rd in a row. What a run for this driver out of Troy, Pennsylvania. Coming back to the car. We had him on the program last Tuesday night. So if you're listening this week and you missed out last week, go over to the YouTube channel, bring up last week's episode, and take a listen to the Sean Bruce interview. It's about 1 hour into the episode from last week, and he has just a great story. Racing with his boys again, and they have just been on a roll. 3 straight wins for that 7-star, his 4th of the season on Friday. Matt Cole making a rare Outlaw Speedway appearance, and he made Bruce earn it, that's for sure. But Cole, who's a previous champion of the IMCA Modifieds locally, just didn't have it against Bruce. They have really got that 7-star dialed in, and although Cole was fast and he could get to the back bumper, that was as close as he could get on Friday night. There was just no stopping Sean Bruce. So Cole would finish second. Brandon Smith was third, Rodney Morgan fourth, Mike Stoddard, Big Daddy finished in the top 5. 6 or 10 was Tony Harris, Tyler Stoddard, Scott Sebring, Brad Smith, and the ageless veteran Sparky Hills. Rounding out the top 10, Sebring and Todd Stone were your heat race winners. Stone led the first 9 laps. Sean Bruce took the lead at halfway, and this is how it sounded here in the last couple of laps there for Sean Bruce to come home and pick up a big win on Friday at Outlaw Speedway.
Come around to the parallel flags this time. 2 laps to go, about 4 car lengths between them. Cole unable to make up the advantage as Bruce pulls away just a bit. One last shot as the white flag flies one more time around.
One more trip around the fast 4/10 mile for Sean Bruce.
This will be his 4th.
4th of the year, 3rd in a row. Final set of corners for Sean Bruce. Matt Cole going to make one last run at it, but he's going to run out of time. Sean Bruce going to pick up the win. 3 in a row for the 7-star. Matt Cole second. Brandon Smith third. Rodney Morgan fourth. And Tyler Stoddard. No, excuse me, that's Big Daddy. Mike Stoddard. The 23 rounds out your top 5. What a dream season, and the roll continues.
Oh, boy, tonight was a tough one, too. Matt Cole come down from Afton, and, boy, he was tough competition tonight for sure. He was all over me.
You've had a fast car the last couple of weeks, but, yeah, Cole on the back bumper going to make you earn every inch tonight.
Yeah, that's what we want. If I get where I can't still wheel these things, it's time to hand the helmet over. So, but right now we're on a tear, and I'm loving every bit of it.
I'd say Sean Bruce has every right to be loving every minute of that when they're on the kind of run that they've been on. And taking a look at the IMCA modified point standings, with the win, Sean Bruce claims the points lead in the division, now takes a 7-point lead over Brandon Smith into this coming week's action. Brad Smith, who was the point leader, now finds himself 8 points back of Sean Bruce. Brad had a tough run there on Friday night in the 76 car. He would certainly make up for that on Saturday at Skyline, but falls back to 3rd in the standings. He's in a tie with Tony Harris in the 9 cat. So they're tied, locked up 8 points behind the leader in 3rd. And then rounding out the top 5, Phil Yaw in the 98 car, 17 points back of the leader and 9 points out of that tie for 3rd. So that is the Decker Insurance, Farmers Insurance IMCA Modified Division point standings after this past week's racing events. And we'll move right on to the Fight Night All-Star Street Stock Series, and 22 cars in attendance. Nice field of street stocks for their 20-lap feature, but I got to tell you, it was a little bit of a crash fest there on Friday night. I've talked to a few people about this. I don't know if it's a situation where guys are really wanting to really fight hard because it's a series race. I mean, the winner's pot was $600, $100 more than a normal night. But man, I don't know what it was. There was just guys, really driving all over each other, doors slamming to make passes, and spinning guys out. And I don't know. I don't know what it is. And it's not. I want to be clear about this. It is not just the Fight Night Street Stock Series, that's for sure. I mean, I was saying this to somebody this weekend. I don't understand what it is about these bigger money races or these series races, you look at the Fight Night series, you look at some of the sportsman specials they've had at Weedsport, you look at some of the recent grit races that we've seen, and it is just guys coming out of those races with torn up or destroyed race cars. And this isn't, in the summer stretch when guys are locked in point battles. This is right in the dead center middle of the season. And these guys are just coming out every race with torn up stuff. I've seen some drivers that have now taken a step back from some of these bigger races or series races and said, you know what, I'm going to go spend the day out on the boat. And I don't think that's a good thing for any of our local tracks. I think that, we need to supplement our regular weekly racing with these bigger money races and these series shows. But man, to me, it's getting a very tough deal for some of these guys that want to follow those races, because when they go to them, the racing, I don't know. I guess you could even make the argument that we're seeing the same kind of racing at our weekly tracks, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if the level of respect amongst the drivers has dropped off, or if there's maybe just a certain faction of drivers that are deciding to race that way. I'm not sure what it is, but I know there's a few people that have followed my train of thought on that whole deal, and I hope it's something that the drivers can, wrestle everybody in and kind of get a grip on that, because these guys are coming out with torn up race cars for really no reason at all. I mean, I don't know, but that's kind of what we saw there on Friday night. A lot of street stocks with a lot of damage at the end of the night on Friday. Chuck Winslow doing what Chuck Winslow does. Second Fight Night Series win of the season, and second Fight Night win at Outlaw, his fifth overall win at Outlaw in 2016. Teddy Morseman, who has been following the Fight Night Series right along, a solid second-place finish. Daryl Krebs, who always runs well at Outlaw Speedway, finished in the third spot. Jared Dennis, who's been traveling more this season, with a great fourth-place finish, and he was one of those guys that had a lot of damage to his car, and he had to do a lot of repairs Saturday morning to get that car ready for Woodhall. Brett Marlatt rounded out the top five in that brand-new Nitro chassis. 6 through 10, C.J. Guerry, Quinn Sutherland, Chris Mashesky, Jake Karlnowski, and Nate Daggett. Lap leaders, Krebs led the first 2 laps. Winslow led laps 3 to 20. Heat race winners were John Carpenter, Quinn Sutherland, and Daryl Krebs. We talked to Chuck Winslow in Victory Lane about his big win there on Friday night. Here's what he had to say. And listen to his comments about following the rest of the Fight Night series. Is now he's got 2 wins, both of them being at Outlaw. Now maybe we're going to follow the series. Let's see what he had to say. Sometimes the best way to avoid the melee is to stay out front, and that's exactly what you did tonight. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I don't know how it was back there, but I guess up front was the place to be. A couple of restarts were kind of bad.
You had a great starting spot tonight, starting in that third position. I talked to you earlier tonight and said that that was a good spot to be, because you could either get up front early or at least be in position.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, tonight we had a good field of cars. There's a lot of tough competition. So if you get that chance to start up there, then you don't get involved in what happens down behind you.
You've raced both asphalt and dirt. Have you ever had a run like this on either surfaces?
Actually, no. No, I haven't, to be honest with you.
5th win of the season, and now 2nd Fight Night win. Was your guys' plans to run the series this year?
No, but I guess we're going to think about it now.
That was what I was wondering. I mean, the way this season has gone for you guys, you get a couple of drop races with that series. It now, kind of puts you in a good spot.
It does. I don't even know when the next race is, to be honest with you.
Results and race breakdown from Outlaw Speedway coming up next. We'll also get into Woodhall Raceway as well as Canandaigua Motorsports Park, the Hill Speedway, and then we'll preview everything that is going to be coming up this coming week on the dirt here locally. You're listening to Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
Max Dairy Bar is a proud supporter of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Opened in 1974, Max Dairy Bar has been a Penn Yan, Cayuga Lake, and Yates County staple, serving the best Hershey's hard ice cream. They also have soft serve ice cream, their weekly yogurt special, sorbet flavors, gluten-free options, frozen Greek yogurt, and non-dairy lemon ice. Don't forget about their tricky 18-hole putt-putt course that will test your skill to see if you have what it takes to be a champion. Max Dairy Bar and Mini Golf, located on State Route 14A, just south of the village of Penn Yan, right on the way to Black Rock Speedway on Friday nights. Visit them online at www.maxdairybar.com or Max Dairy Bar on Facebook and Twitter. Stop by Max Dairy Bar and tell them Turn 5 Live sent you. Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust, the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Mark Manullo, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Mr. Smooth bringing us back from commercial break here on Turn 5 Live. Haven't heard from Smooth in a while here on the program, so we're back here on Turn 5 Live. We're happy you joined us. Steve Ovens bringing you tonight's episode as we're all off to the Super Dirt Series event out at the 5 Mile Point Speedway. Checking that out here tonight, so be sure to follow along on Race Monitor or follow us on Facebook and Twitter if that's how you get your news, as we'll be posting all the updates as they come in throughout the night, and so be on the lookout for those. We're back off to the Outlaw Speedway, wrapping up some of their highlights from Friday night, and four-cylinder action, 21 cars in attendance. 20-lap feature. J.J. Kreidler got a big win for Richie Sharpstein in that Flying X. Richie stepping out behind the wheel on Friday night when they pulled in the parking lot, asked J.J. to step in the car to try and change the luck a bit there on that ride, and it was awesome to see those guys have success, as Richie has just struggled and struggled and struggled with mechanical woes on that car. And it was with one man's victory came another man's big defeat. Ray Heyer led that the whole second half of the race and a little bit more than that, only to have the engine give up the ship with 1 lap to go. Let's listen in as that happened. Just a heartbreaker there for Ray Heyer. Let's listen into the finish of that feature.
There's Kreidler right there again. Right on the back bumper. Whoa.
Yes, sir.
This might be a good one. Before it's over.
Kreidler to the top, Heyer on the bottom. Off a turn 4, white flag in hand. And Kreidler takes the lead. Heyer goes up in smoke. Heyer with a big problem under the hood of the 4D, trying to make it hold on. One more lap. And J.J. Kreidler is going to take the Flying X to victory lane.
Boy, I bet Richie's happy now.
Bowers at the line for second, and Heyer makes it hold on for third. What a tough break for Ray Heyer. And I think he's got fluid down on the track as the rest of the field trying to negotiate turns 1 and 2.
Well, when it went up in smoke, I see the red light on the dash come on.
Oh,
you
man.
know that's not a good sign. So Richie's car gets to victory lane. I'm sure Richie will be over here pretty happy about that.
Kreidler takes the lead as the white flag is displayed and leads the final lap to pick up the win. It's got to mean a lot to get this baby in victory lane for him.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to drive it. He came up to me and asked, so this one goes to Richie.
So when was this determined? Right when we got here tonight?
Pretty much.
I'll tell you, you followed Ray Heyer, and you guys had a great battle. I'll tell you, you and Billy Bowers had a good battle, too, behind the wheel of the 17 car. How did you get up through there?
I knew I was going to have to make the bottom work to get under him. He was running the high side, and I knew I was going to make the high side work to get by Ray. I'm not sure what happened to him. He slowed down a little bit.
And I gotta ask Richie real quick here. It's been such a tough season. It's got to feel good to see this car here.
Yeah, hopefully this changes its luck a little bit.
Congratulations, man. Good job here tonight. So congratulations to J.J. Kreidler and Rich Sharpstein on getting the Flying X to victory lane. We told you a story last week about a young driver picking up his first career win and stealing the hearts of the entire crowd at the Outlaw Speedway. Jordan Bacon would make it 2 in a row in the Winner's Circle Deli Bandits. 4 cars in attendance for their 10-lap feature. Bacon got a second victory of the season. Austin Labar was second. Stephen Perkins III was fourth. Joey Clark rounded out the top 4 that started the feature event on Friday night. We heard from Jordan Bacon after his second career win.
Oh, yeah, we did some work on the car before when we came in. Shredded down the tires and stuff, grinded them down. So
Really?
That helped quite a bit.
Awesome. So you taking things from hot laps and trying to make the car better for feature time, even though you guys don't have a lot of time to do that.
No, not really. I was kind of surprised that we didn't go right back out for our hot laps, but...
It made a difference tonight, that's for sure.
Oh, yes.
Now, talk to me. Second time out here racing. What's it been like getting adjusted to this car? I mean, you've taken to it like a duck to water.
Oh, yeah, it's very hard. It's very different from a go-kart, I can tell you that.
A lot of fun, though, right?
Yeah, it's very fun.
Now, tell me, I missed something last Friday. You gotta level with me here a little bit. I turn around and walk away doing the interview, and then you get a kiss from the Queen. I mean,
yeah,
come on, man.
That was very surprising.
Tell you what, Jordan Bacon, you want to talk about a young man that's well beyond his age, man. Just a great victory lane interview. You can just throw him a little bit of a question and he can run right away with it, and pretty impressive for 13 years old. A lot of these youngsters that win races, you kind of have to pull some answers from them until they get comfortable and until they can kind of feel comfortable about what they're talking about and what they're saying in front of all those people and into the microphone and whatnot. But boy, that youngster right there has got a great future ahead of him, that's for sure. So that will wrap things up from the Outlaw Speedway. Let's take a look at the points. We didn't talk about the 4-cylinder or the Bandit points, and we didn't talk about the street stock points, but that was because it was show-up points there on Friday night. So no points change for the street stocks. Chuck Winslow still out to a 34-point lead over C.J. Guerry. And now as we look at the 4-cylinder points after Friday night's action, Erica Bell reclaims the point lead from Scott Bradley. Bradley had just a terrible finish on Friday night, finished right toward the back of the field in the 23. So now Erica Bell a 17-point lead going into this Friday night's competition. Dave Wedham in third place, 24 points back. And then in fourth, we go all the way back 74 points to Ray Heyer in that fourth spot. And if you don't think that losing the points on that DQ call for the carburetor spacer wasn't a big deal or not. You think that, if he'd have kept that win, that would have been 60 points he'd have to his total, and he'd be only 14 points out of the lead, which would have put him in the second spot. So if you don't think that penalty was huge for his season, and this is on top of the fact that Ray didn't even start out racing at Outlaw Speedway at the beginning of the year. And so you put all that together, and they have had just an incredible season at Outlaw Speedway, and it's a shame that he's not a little higher up in the point race after losing all those points. But so that's the rear-wheel drive division. Then we will look at the front-wheel drive division, and Jordan Kiefer with nearly a full point race ahead now on Jared Brown in the 09, and 48 points, 2 points behind Brown is Cody Baker in the 14 car, and Baker bringing out a Prelude on Friday night. And the last time that car was raced at Outlaw Speedway, it was stuffed in the turn 2 fence with Sean Gleason behind the wheel. So that car was awfully fast that day. Cody Baker just getting things figured out on that car, and I imagine we're going to see that car up at the front real soon. If you know anything about Cody Baker, that's for sure. Looking at this coming Friday night schedule, it's Max Dairy Bar night at the Outlaw Speedway. One-on-one spectator races are the special this week. Race time is 6:45 for the Bandits, 7 o'clock for the heat racing action. Admission just $12 for adults 13 and over. Ages 12 and under are always free at the Outlaw Speedway. Senior citizens 65 plus is $10, and the pit pass for Friday night will be $30. And again, all of that action coming to you this Friday night courtesy of Max Dairy Bar, located on State Route 14A in just south of the village of Penn Yan. And, of course, Max Dairy Bar, one of our great sponsors here at Turn 5 Live in the Performance Motorsports Network. And, while we're at it, why don't we step aside and we'll hear a little bit about Max Dairy Bar and all they offer in Penn Yan. So we'll step aside here. When we come back, time to dive into the Woodhall results. And then before too long, we'll talk about Skyline, the Hill Speedway, and Canandaigua Motorsports Park right here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
Max Dairy Bar is a proud supporter of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Opened in 1974, Max Dairy Bar has been a Penn Yan, Cayuga Lake, and Yates County staple, serving the best Hershey's hard ice cream. They also have soft serve ice cream, their weekly yogurt special, sorbet flavors, gluten-free options, frozen Greek yogurt, and non-dairy lemon ice. Don't forget about their tricky 18-hole putt-putt course that will test your skill to see if you have what it takes to be a champion. Max Dairy Bar and Mini Golf, located on State Route 14A, just south of the village of Penn Yan, right on the way to Black Rock Speedway on Friday nights. Visit them online at www.maxdairybar.com or Max Dairy Bar on Facebook and Twitter. Stop by Max Dairy Bar and tell them Turn 5 Live sent you.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust, the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at CreeksideEntertainmentDJ.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Now back to the crew whose studio was named after a dinner entree. Here's Stephen, Clint, and Brad.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that re-entry is a little old there. Danny Kaye, back when we were recording the show and doing the show live from the Casa de Pork Chop Studios. Yeah, that's a good throwback one there for you here on Turn 5 Live. Stephen Ovens joining you on the program tonight, flying solo, as I imagine most of us in the area are headed out to the 5 Mile Point Speedway. I know that's where I'll actually be tonight. So if you're listening live to the program tonight, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com/Turn5Live, and then, of course, at Turn5Live on Twitter. So check all that out for sure, and you can listen into all the action. So you've got... We'll get into Woodhull Raceway now, as they had Christmas in July, presented by Kibbe Concrete on Saturday night on the high banks, and boy, I'll tell you, Billy Van Pelt is on a roll. You know, they always say you've got to be lucky to be good, and you've got to be good to get lucky every once in a while. And boy, that is the way it's been for him lately, as he is really on a good roll now. Third win of the season in the modified division there on Saturday night, and not only that, was his second win in a row. And it was in thrilling fashion. There's no doubt about that. It was an incredible finish. We've got audio to share with you here tonight. So why don't we go ahead and take a listen to those last 2 to 3 laps at the Bull Ring, as it was exciting. Down the backstretch, they go 3 wide for the second spot into turn number 3. McTavish with the lead. Bills up to second, and look at them scatter in the back of the pack. Everybody looking for racing room. Boyd McTavish out of Ransomville, New York, drives down here. It's at least a 3-hour trip, could be even further than that, to come down here and race at the Woodhull Raceway every Saturday night. He is out front, and the man trying to make up points here tonight, Mike Bills, running in that second spot. Bills really arcs it into 1 and 2, but McTavish with the momentum into turn 3. Bills trying to work the middle. McTavish up top. McTavish will keep the lead. Oh, McTavish slid high that time, and Bills trying to get by McTavish. Not done yet. McTavish works the top, and he keeps the lead at the line. What a battle up front. And McTavish slid a little too high that time, and Bills takes the lead. Costa looking for position on Kenny Peoples Jr. for the third spot. Through 1 and 2, and Costa up to the third spot here on lap 15. 10 to go. Van Pelt to the outside, Costa to the inside, and Costa up to second here on lap 17. I don't know, Jerry. Corey Costa's got a fast hot rod, but there's another one coming behind him, too.
He's been saving his tires back there in that first segment.
Yep. Corey Costa catching up to Mike Bills with a good run off of turn 2. Within a half a car length to turn 3. Van Pelt to the top. Costa to the bottom. Costa with a run on Mike Bills for the lead. 3 to go. Bills washes up the hill, and here comes Corey Costa with a run to the bottom. Van Pelt to the top. Throw a blanket over the top three. And Van Pelt takes the lead with 2 to go. Boy, did he sail it around 3 and 4. Look, he's almost off the backstretch. White flag is out. One more trip around the bull ring for Billy Van Pelt. Final trip around turn 4. Van Pelt will get the win. Costa second. Mike Bills third. Brady Fultz fourth. Boyd McTavish fifth. But I'm not sure that you were quite convinced of that when you told me that. But tell us about that run.
What really helped is Corey was gotten up there beside Mike, and Mike slowed down for us. And I was third. If Corey could have got by quick by Mike, I would have never caught Corey. I was working hard, doing whatever Corey wasn't going to do. And when he did that, it opened the door up for me to drive around the outside. And, I wasn't too convinced to be able to come from 12th to 9th either. But I got to thank Grant Hilfiger for allowing me to run his stuff. Hilfiger Contracting, Walker Plumbing, Instant Heat Wood Pellets, Swigart Maple Syrup, right out of Woodhall here, Bicknell, Bradley Supply, Morgantini Race Engines, Mullen Carpet, Ridge Runner Cafe. All of these guys, a lot of help to get us to what we can do. So I am just so tickled to death right now, and unbelievable.
The track a little bit drier tonight, but the outside, when you needed it to work, was still there for you. Tell me about that.
I had to keep going upstairs. Everybody was hogging the bottom, and if you wanted to follow, that's what you did, and them guys weren't making mistakes. Like I said, Corey Costa drove an awesome race there, and he was doing really good, hitting the bottom really good. He was pulling me big time off of 4 here, and I went down there and I could run with him, but I really didn't have nothing for him. But like I said, if Mike wouldn't have shut the door on him, I wouldn't be here.
And what an awesome battle. You guys came 3 wide off of turn 4, everybody giving each other just enough room they needed to race.
Oh, yeah. Great guys to run with, always. I got a lot of respect for Mike and Corey and, Dylan and Kenny Peoples Jr. Fisher, Brady Fultz. We've got an awesome group of cars. We might only have 17, but we've got one of the best group of modifieds around.
Van Pelt ending with a big statement there at the end that, they may only have 17 cars, but they've got a very, very competitive field. And you're not going to see this host of Turn 5 Live disagree with him there. That was an incredible finish. That's 2 weeks in a row we've seen that kind of finish in the modified division. There was a lot of good racing on Saturday night, but I have to tell you, when it comes to the fan satisfaction in your premier division, man, I don't think anybody could have walked out of there shaking their head being disappointed with the finish. Maybe their favorite driver didn't win, but as far as the racing product on the track, man, you couldn't beat it there on Saturday night. So congratulations to Van Pelt. He got the win over Corey Costa. Mike Bills had to settle for third after leading late. Brady Fultz, I'll tell you, man, what a weekend for Brady Fultz. Moves up into the 4th spot in the standings at Outlaw. 4th place finish on Saturday at Woodhall. Boyd McTavish, there's another driver that needed a great finish, and he got one on Saturday night. Led the opening 6 laps of the event. Then 6 or 10, it was Eric Fisher, Kenny Peoples Jr., Donnie Lawson, Dylan Groover, Ryan Tracy, rounding out the top 10 finishers on Saturday at Woodhall. Heat race winners, Kenny Peoples Jr., Mike Bills, and Josh Nebriga. Moving on to the Napa Crate Sportsman. Boy, what a race here as Dayton Brewer raced away to his first win of the season. He got the win over Chris Doherty, Stacy Jackson, Mike Jackson, and Brandon Butler. Talk about 5 of the toughest guys in the division right there in your top 5 finishing spots. 6 or 10, Tim Guild, David Mayo, Connor Brown, Bobby Peoples, Stevie Hartman III, rebounded to 10th from a late race spin. Jackson and Doherty was practically a dead heat on the first lap. Jackson would take the lead from laps 2 to 8, and then Dayton Brewer took over on lap 9 and led all the way to lap 25. Stacy Jackson, Brandon Butler, Josh Kesey were your heat race winners. Let's go down to Instant Heat Wood Pellets Victory Lane and hear what Dayton Brewer had to say about his first victory of the season.
Yeah, I'm just glad that I didn't look like a liar, because I've been telling everybody if I could just finally get a good draw, a good starting position, I could win one. So I'm just glad I was able to pull it off.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, we've seen you string together a bunch of top 5 finishes the last couple of weeks. So was that the difference tonight? Was having a good draw?
Yeah, definitely having a good draw helps. Usually if I get a good draw, I get taken out by somebody, or I start right in the back and just run out of laps. So starting up front is definitely a big help in this class.
Talk to us about this car. You had it glued right down to the bottom, and where we would see some other guys, the rear end step out on them a little bit, man, this car wasn't stepping out at all.
It's maybe older is better, because this is a 2007. It's a lot older than I think a lot of people's are here, but it's always just planted right in the bottom. I love a good dry slick track because not many other people can keep it down there like I can.
Oh, there you go, Dayton Brewer telling everybody that you don't have to have that brand new chassis to get it done. That's a 2007. That is just incredible that they can take a chassis that was. God, that's a 9-year-old chassis, and they're out there winning races, and he was pulling away at the end, just making it look easy out there in the Morgan's Auto Repair 17. So congratulations to him. Moving on to the SWL Awards 360 late models, and Bruce Miller doing what Bruce Miller does. 4th win of the season in the 360 late models. They had 12 cars. He got the win. Your top 5 finishers were Bruce Miller, Glenn Reitner, Carl Hughes, Kurt Stebbins, and Steve LeBaron. Let's hear what Bruce Miller had to say before we step away for the break.
Yeah, the track was really slick tonight, and it felt like I was going slow, but I guess as long as I'm going just a little bit faster than the next guy, it's all right. But it's hard. It's not really my driving style. I like to charge the corner, and I don't know if I'm slowing down too much for the corner or not when I'm out front on a slick track. I just feel like I'm a little bit on pins and needles because I know when it's slick, you can't get away from people, and if you goof up or get off the bottom, they're going to be right by. So I was glad to hold on tonight.
That's for sure. We've talked several times this season about the fact that, we know that the Bruce Miller track is the heavy, tacky, fast kind of track, but you guys have really put a good focus on the slick track this year.
Yeah, definitely, since Woodhall is basically the only track we can run these cars, at least within a close proximity to home. This year I've really focused on trying to get a slick track set up for here, because if you don't have a slick track set up that works at Woodhall, you're probably going to be good on 3 or 4 nights of the year max. So, yeah, I'm really happy with the way the car's been working this year.
Right there with Bruce Miller, who picked up the win in the 360 late model division. Hey, we're going to step aside here. When we come back, we will have a breakdown of the 50-lap feature event for the Joe Wilcox Performance Automatic Street Stocks. They went $750 to win there on Saturday night, so we'll hear from Victory Lane there. We'll also hear from your winners in the mini stock division, front wheel drive division, and then we'll hear from Little A, AJ Petrobowski Jr., who was the Warrior winner on Saturday night. Stick around for that and a lot more here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speeds, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a
You
left.
are not going to
then
believe
what you're
this.
going to do is turn
Marcy
onto Marcy
and Brad
Avenue
just broke up,
and go past
and apparently
the first 3
she's
lights,
happy
and
about
then take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
Then
think
drive
she's
5 more
happy,
blocks,
but
and you should be
who am
there.
I to judge, right?
Park
anyway,
on the right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust, the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi, race fans. This is the voice, Shane Andrews of the Big Block Modified Super Dirt Car Series, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
That's right, the voice, Shane Andrews, bringing us back from commercial break here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Thank you for listening in tonight. Steve Ovens flying solo tonight on the program, as I'm actually recording this the night before and putting it out here for everybody to listen to live on Tuesday night. And then, of course, you can always catch us on the replays here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Go to performancemotorsportsnetwork.com. You can get the full schedule of when our show is aired live, and then, of course, when it's re-aired throughout the week. And you can also go to our YouTube page, youtube.com, and search Turn 5 Live, and you can find all of our archived episodes. If you've got a driver with interview that we've had here on in the past, you want to take a listen to that. We have got every episode that not only we've done as the Turn 5 Racing podcast, but also every episode we've done with the Performance Motorsports Network is archived on the YouTube channel. So check that out. We have been about 3 years in the running here on Turn 5 Live, and it has been a blast doing this program, and we thank everybody that listens in. So let's get back to the Woodhall Raceway action there on Saturday night. The Joe Wilcox Performance Automatic Street Stocks went 50 laps in distance there on Saturday night, coming away with a big win, and he took the lead with about 5 laps to go. Kurt Stebbins, a big win there. It was show-up points only for the street stocks there on Saturday night, but that was Stebbins' third overall win of the season. Took the lead with 5 laps to go around the outside of Dylan Cece. Stebbins did a great job not showing what he had there late in the event. They had a late caution that put Stebbins in position, and he didn't drive up alongside to let anybody know who was there, because had he done so, I'm sure Cece would have gotten off the bottom and changed his line a little bit, maybe even run through the middle of the track to try and block off any runs from Stebbins. But Cece didn't know who was back there, and he was running strong on the bottom, but boy, Stebbins would get such a momentum run on the outside, and he would drive around Cece with 5 to go. Cece would then go to the outside to try and chase him down and repass him for the lead, but would not be able to do so. Cece would finish second. Tracy Dunn was third, Jared Dennis fourth, and Dan Gardner was the fifth car across, actually the sixth car across the line, but would finish fifth as there was a disqualification on the number 15 of Glenn Reitner, and that was a costly penalty on Saturday night, as not only will Reitner lose 50 points for the tech infraction, and that's listed right on the Woodhall Raceway points page, is that a tech DQ results in loss of all night's points plus a 50-point penalty for the first offense. So not only does he lose out on the 50 points for the tech DQ, he also loses out on the 25 show-up points that were on the line. And when everybody else stays the same in points and you take a 75-point swing to the bad, that was a costly tech DQ for Reitner there on Saturday night, as it took him from a tie in the points lead all the way down to, let's take a look here. I believe it's 8th in the point standings now after Saturday night. So that was quite costly for Glenn, and I think that's essentially going to knock him out of the points race for the rest of the season. It would take a miracle to climb from that kind of a deficit. He now sits 75 points behind the leader, Stebbins. Cece just 2 points behind Stebbins in second, and 3 points behind Stebbins in third is Teddy Morseman. And we've seen the street stock point battle be a knockdown, drag-out fight at Woodhall before, and that's exactly, I think, what we're going to see again this year. Heat points are going to be critical. And looking at the heat race points for this season, Cece stands out with, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heat race wins in 2016. And, 7 point rate, 7 heat wins times 3 points, that's 21 points. That has brought him back into title contention when he had, two pretty bad finishes within about 3 weeks of each other. And certainly having a flat tire last Saturday, before the 50-lapper this week, that didn't help matters either, but those heat race points have kept Cece in it just like they did last season. So, keep an eye on the 7 cars. He's just 1 point out of the lead, and Morseman is right there, and Stebbins really showed some strength on Saturday night, picking up that big win in the street stock division, $750 there to Stebbins for the win. And not only that, he will also get a guaranteed starting spot for the Fight Night Street Stock Series Woodhall 100 coming up later in the fall in September when Woodhall runs their 100-lap race. And talking about that race, the folks here from Turn 5 Live going to be doing our lap sponsorship program, not only for the Empire 100 in October, but we're also going to be doing it for the Woodhall 100 in September. So be sure to watch out for the announcements on that. We are going to do our lap sponsor program and all of the goodies that we have done the past couple of seasons for the Empire 100. We will be doing the same at the Woodhall Raceway for the Woodhall 100. So be on the lookout for all of that. Doherty Auto Sales Mini Stocks, 16 cars in attendance there. And actually, before we get into the mini stocks, before I forget here, why don't we hear from Kurt Stebbins, who picked up the 50-lap win. He was very, very excited in Victory Lane, had a lot of fans and a lot of friends and family down in Victory Lane who were pretty pumped about it too. So let's hear what Stebbins had to say after taking the lead with 5 to go and winning the 50-lapper.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind starting in the back. Usually if you start in the front, you're asking for trouble. So
had to be patient tonight, but boy, what a fast hot rod to get you up there and working that outside.
Yep, I knew I had to go to the top. It was just everybody was down there. They weren't giving nothing up, so I had to do it somewhere.
Now, you were working the outside, and as you got up to the leaders, we had a couple of late cautions. Were you worried at all about showing them the outside?
Yeah, I was trying to stay back. I under cautions, I stayed right back away from them. I didn't want them to know who was there.
Man, tell me about this season. This has been a dream season for you here at Woodhall, not only in the street stock, but the late model.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I can't thank everybody that comes out here and supports me enough. It's awesome.
And not only that, but a nice tune-up for the 100-lapper later in the season.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And if you're looking for a favorite in the Woodhall 100, look no further than a guy that's already got a 100-lap win in his career already. Of course, that being at Outlaw Speedway. But, look no further than Kurt Stebbins. He has just had a magical season on the high banks this year. I don't know what they have found or what he's found as a driver there, but man, he has been strong. Moving on to Doherty Auto Sales Mini Stocks, they had 16 cars in attendance. Ron Daly Jr. picked up his 4th win of the season over Chris Woodard, who also has 4 wins on the year, and they are locked into a tight point battle as well. John Hand Jr. finished in 3rd, Jeffrey Doherty 4th, Brian Grant Jr. in the top 5. 6 through 10 was Rick Amadon, Carl Bourne, Chip Warner, Mike Stone, and Scott Lehman. We talked to Ron Daly Jr. about his pass for the lead and had a little contact with John Hand Jr., had to be put back a spot on a yellow flag, but then got back by Hand Jr. In a very clean fashion, and Daly Jr. talked to us about it in Victory Lane, as those guys are friends. They park near each other, and Ronnie, knowing that John wouldn't take that personal, as there was no malicious intent there. So let's hear from Ron Daly Jr., the winner of the mini stock feature on Saturday night.
Yeah, the car was working really well. The little move down here on the infield, I really didn't mean to jump the infield there. I set the car and I set it way too hard, and it turned towards the infield. And John Hand and I are really good buddies. We help each other on our cars.
Yeah.
We figure something out. We tell each other, let's try this. I really didn't mean it down there, and John knows it.
Yeah, we figured that. You guys are parked up near each other every week, and a good racing community you guys have up there. And I mean, honestly, it was a great race between you two.
Yeah, it was a good race. To be honest with you, I like everybody in this class. We all get along. Anybody in this class will help any other guy on any given night. If I break anything on this car, any one of these guys will let me borrow a part, and I'll do the same for them. This is an excellent class.
Late in the race, Woodard started to close in on you. Did you know how close he was?
I had no idea, but I figured he'd be coming. He's pretty fast.
No doubt about it. You guys have both been, 2 of the 3 class of the field here so far this season. Another win, a good points night as well.
Yeah, I definitely needed this for a points night. It's been close all year. I think it's going to stay that way for the rest of the year.
Couldn't agree with John Hand any more than what he just said there. I mean, that point race in the mini stocks is going to be, that is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight the rest of the season. He's confident of that. I'm confident of that as well. I think that is going to be a real fun race to keep tabs on as we start counting those points as we close into championship night coming up in the first weekend of September. So keep your eyes on that one. Woodhull Auto Supply front-wheel drive division, they had 11 cars there on Saturday night, and winning his 3rd feature of the season, led it wire to wire. That was Nate Freeland in the 26 car. He got the big win over Sean Gleason. Dave Richmond, Cody Baker, Adam Del Grosso, the top 5. Then it was Matt Prescott, Carl LeBaron, Eric Farnham, Jay McConnell, and Jordan Kiefer, the top 10. We heard from Freeland afterwards, and here's what he had to say about the win.
Boy, you had a great draw tonight, and sometimes that's what it takes, having a good draw and an even better car.
Yes, it does. I had a great draw tonight. I got lucky enough to start on the pole, and after that I was just driving around the track, giving it all she had.
Dave Richmond trying to close in on you, Sean Gleason behind him as well, and while they were battling each other, that let you pull away just a little bit, and it seemed like the car was handling great for you tonight.
Thank you. Yes, that's what happened, and it helped out, and I'm just glad I got the W.
So Nate Freeland takes the win in the front-wheel drive division. And, of course, the Doherty Auto Sales Warriors was the first feature of the night. 5 cars there in attendance. 4th win of the season for A.J. Petrobowski Jr., the madman. Extends his point lead over Koliaus, who finished in 2nd. Brody Amadon was 3rd. Kaylee Petrobowski getting more and more comfortable behind the wheel of that 72X. I believe that was just her 2nd feature event behind the wheel of that newer car that they picked up here mid-season. Trevor Hamilton rounded out the top 5, and that is not indicative of the race that Hamilton had. He ran in the 2nd spot for most of that race and was doing a great job racing with Koliaus for the 2nd spot. Certainly not indicative of the race car that he had on Saturday night. But we talked to A.J. Petrobowski Jr. in Victory Lane. Here's what he had to say about taking the win in the 72 car.
Fourth win of the season here in the Warrior Division. Going to extend that point lead tonight. Congratulations. Car was a rocket ship tonight.
Yeah, it was. Couldn't ask for a better car.
Now, you and I talked earlier this afternoon about what you guys found on the left front of the car. Tell the race fans a little bit about what you found in weekly maintenance.
Yeah, the A-frame, the bushings in it, all were bad. So we had to change all those out. That took a while. And I guess it worked good.
Yeah, I guess it worked pretty good. It looked like, in previous weeks, the car is at times wanted to step out from underneath you. Is that something you guys have been tuning on?
Yeah, like going over the backstretch, that helped that a lot. I didn't go over one time this week.
Well, I know you got a great crew here and some sponsors that help you out. Tell us about them.
Pro Signs, my dad, my grandpa, my mom, all the guys that help in the shop. Pro Signs, FBRs, tile specialists, and I think that's about it.
Great job, man. Fun to win these races out here, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks.
Give it up for A.J. Petrobowski Jr., tonight's Warriors feature winner.
More and more comfortable behind the microphone is that A.J. Petrobowski Jr., he takes the point lead, extends the point lead in the Warrior Division. Hey, let's step aside. When we come back here, we're going to talk the Hill Speedway. We'll talk results from Skyline as Brad Smith picked up a big win in the IMCA Modifieds against a former NASCAR star. And we'll get to Canandaigua results before we get on out of here tonight on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station.
Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, Recording Artists Against Drunk Driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more. But the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives, and so should you.
Motorsports sales professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Red Deo, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Dale bringing us back from commercial break here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen Ovens coming to you solo tonight here on the program, and we are going to head on out to the Hill Speedway out there in Monroe, Pennsylvania, as you can always catch the thrills on the hill every Friday night at the Hill Speedway. And this past Friday night, they had all of their regular divisions in attendance, and picking up his second straight IMCA modified feature win, Gary Lamphere got the win over Keith Lamphere. Brad Seitz finished in the third spot. Harry Ely finished in the fourth spot, with Eddie Seitz rounding out the top five. The rest of the field was Bobby Maynard, Brandon Hilliard, and Larry Colton. Moving on to the street stocks, and also his second straight win in the division. Tom Savercool in the Flynn Propane number 20 got the big win over Doug Stack Jr., Kevin Garland, Dan Mazzarese, Rich Sharpstein. That was your top five finishers. Then it was Rick Brown, Jeremy Williams, Bobby Maynard, Chuck Murray, and Dan Forrest, the top 10. The Pure Stocks, Cody Kirshner got another big win on the season. He got the win over Dustin Burdick, Craig Smith, and A.J. Hunsinger. Moving on to the rear-wheel drive four-cylinders, J.R. Bush got the win. I believe that's his first of the year over Brian Stone. Ed Navone, Alan Blackwell, and Mike Navone rounded out the top five finishers. The rest of the field was Shad Blackwell, Darren Horton, Josh Collins, and Mike Kozer. And Mike Kozer, going from the penthouse to the outhouse, as he was the feature winner in the rear-wheel drives last Friday night. So not a great run for him there on Friday at the Hill. Front-wheel drive division, the four-cylinders, front-wheel drives, Ryan Wood got the win over Devin Bailey, Burt Maynard, Corey Lewis, and Dalton Maynard, the top five finishers. The rest of the field there was Matt Browning and Trevor Belcher. So there you go with the results there from Friday night at the Hill Speedway. It was a hot night out there at the Hill. They had 15 street stocks, filled the pits with a total of 42 race teams, all taking the checkered flag there on Friday night. And, so I think these guys are really doing a great job of kind of keeping things going. As with any track that puts down a new surface, they're working through the struggles of that. And, from everybody that we talk to that's been either up at the Hill or connected in with folks that are racing at the Hill and can kind of give reports and things like that, it sounds like things are moving in a pretty positive direction for them, and that's great to hear because anytime we can have a healthy dirt track added to the region, that's only a great thing for the drivers and the fans. So a good night there on Friday night for the folks at the Hill Speedway, and want to thank Don Maynard and all the folks from the Hill for making sure to send us in the results so we can bring them to you here on the program. So appreciate that, guys, very much. And next, we're going to move up. We're going to try and pull up the results here from the Skyline Speedway, Skyline Raceway Park. Actually, I guess I should actually search by is Brad Smith picked up a big win there on Saturday night as Kenny Schrader was in town to participate in the racing activities, and it was a big night for them out there. And of course, they got rain on Saturday, and they got the rain at the worst possible time that you could get rain at a racetrack, and that's right after you've watered the track for what water you think it needs for the entire night. Mother Nature come through and just dumped, from what I understand, dumped a good amount of water out on the track, and that was unfortunate to hear because with Kenny Schrader in town and all of the fans. Brad Smith said to me in an article that'll be coming out on Wednesday in the Morning Times in Sarah, PA, he said he'd never seen that many people in the pit area before, which was great to hear. I mean, anytime we can get some of these former NASCAR stars that are racing dirt now to come out and participate, that's a really, really great thing. But taking a look at the results there from Saturday night, and just taking a look. There we go. Now we got it pulled up there. So in the Open Sportsman division, it was Kevin Jordan that picked up the win there at Skyline. Randy Chantel was second, Tyler Hart third, Dan Jankowski fourth, and Jim Rothwell finished in the top five. Moving on to the 602 Crate Sportsman's, Andrew Smith got the win over Dale Welty, and having looked at Dale Welty's social media page, it sounded like that was a heartbreaker for him, as it was just one mistake entering the corner that allowed Andrew Smith to get by for the win. So Welty had to finish, settle for second. Will Shields was third, Taylor Lamb fourth, Brandon Kuhn the top five. 6 through 10 was Randy Gates, Ray Smith, Garrett Rushlow, who we've seen over at Outlaw on Friday nights on occasion. Amy Holland was ninth, and rounding out the top 10 was last week's winner at Thunder Mountain, Tom Collins Jr. Moving on to the IMCA Modifieds, Brad Smith picked up the win. Big win for him there, as Kenny Schrader would come home third behind Keith Lamphere. So Lamphere, 2 second-place finishes on the weekend. Schrader was third, Steve Cummings fourth, Ray McClure the top five. 6 through 10 was Doug McCain, Taylor Velez, Don Alvord, Jeff Cardinal, and Jeff Austin. Moving on to the Street Stock division, and Shane Wolf Jr. rained out at Penn Can on Friday night, decided to make the trip out to Skyline on Saturday, and Shane Wolf Jr. picked up the big win. Bob Mills was second, Ray Lindquist was third, Tom Savercool fourth, Earl Zimmer the top five. 6 through 10 was Dave Mazzarese, Rich Fife, Cody Nielsen, and Chris Mashesky. So how about that? Chris Mashesky making a trip over there to the Skyline Raceway with his number 24 Street Stock. In the stock car division, it was Buck Mills Jr., and I understand he's been on fire in that division this season. Jason Thomas was second, Bill Flask third, Dan Reeves fourth, Tim Parker the top five. The rest of the field was Levi Frink, Tony Page, Buck Mills Sr., and Grayson Albanese. Moving on to the four-cylinder stock division, Kenny Underwood got the big win over Nick Kennedy, Tom Bumpus the second, Eric Rowley, Nick Greast the top five. Then it was Michael Brown, Mike Wilmot Jr., Cody Nielsen, Jake Burke, and Rich Wagner rounding out your top 10 finishers. So there you have it, the results there from Saturday at Skyline. And of course, while we're talking about Skyline Raceway Park out there in Cortland, we've got to talk about the Legend of Skyline, a night to remember coming up on Sunday, July 17th. You're not going to want to miss out on that, as it's a big block, small block modified shootout. 30 laps the distance there, $2,000 to win, $150 to start. You've also got the Mark Wainwright Memorial for the 602 Crate Sportsman, 30 laps there, $1,000 to win, $100 to start for the Grit Racing Series. You've also got the Empire State Series that'll be racing, the IMCA Modifieds, 25 laps, $1,000 to win. That's a great purse there for the IMCAs, $75 to start. You've also got the George Scott Memorial four-cylinder shootout, 20 laps. Let's see. A little difficult to tell what it is to win there. $216 to win. There must have been some kind of significance there with that $108 times 2 for $216 to win. Not sure on that one, but $108 for second, $50 for fifth, or second through fifth, $108. Then $50 to start. My apologies, I'm having trouble reading their ad here. Grandstand admission on Sunday, $13. Seniors and students, $10 to $15 is $11. Kids 9 and under free, Pit Pass, $35 there on Sunday at Skyline. So check that out. Gates open at 3 p.m., hot laps at 5:30, with racing starting right on the button at 6 p.m. So check that out. And then, of course, Saturday, the gates open at 4 with racing at 6:30 for their regular night of racing there. General admission, $10. Seniors and students, $10 to $15, just $8. Kids 9 and under, free at Skyline Raceway Park. And if you want to check them out online, visit www.skylineracewayny.com. We're going to step aside here for our final trip around. When we come back, we'll take the white flag. We'll talk Canandaigua Motorsports Park, some news from Rolling Wheels, and we'll wrap the show up as I'm sure by now some of the heat race and consolation results will be coming in from 5 Mile Point. So tune in to Turn 5 Live on Facebook and Twitter for all the latest updates from 5 Mile Point. You're listening to Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station. Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, recording artists against drunk driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more, but the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives, and so should you.
Motorsports sales professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Otto Sitterly, driver of the Nakota Racing number 7, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
One we haven't used in a while. Otto Sitterly bringing us back from commercial here on Turn 5 Live as we get ready to take the white flag and wrap up tonight's episode. We're so thankful that you tuned in and following along with us here on the program tonight as we get ready to wrap things up here is results from the Canandaigua Motorsports Park from this past Saturday night, and we'll go ahead and pull those up here and take a look. And picking up the win, how about this in the modifieds? Billy Decker, first win of the season at Canandaigua, and what a great time of the year to do it. Alan Johnson, fresh off his win at Outlaw the night before, finished in the second spot. He'd also go on to finish second at Utica Rome the next day. So what a weekend for AJ Slideways with all sorts of momentum behind that 14J. Friendly Ford commercial roofing on the side of the car there. But Johnson second Saturday night. Justin Hares was third. Matt Shepard fourth. Gary Tompkins, the top 5. Good run there for Gary. 6 through 10 was Rich Scalata, Peter Britton, Tim Fuller, Mike Mahaney, and Ryan Arbuthnot. Heat race winners were Mike O'Brien, Eldon Payne Jr., and Matt Shepard. In the sportsmen, always good to see this guy get a win. Kevin Ridley, one of the good guys in our sport, without a doubt. An outspoken guy, but a good guy in our sport. So he got the win there on Saturday night. Dave Marchicelli finishing in second. Good run for Austin Fugel to finish in the third spot. Nick Guerri brought the Pampered Parents 25G home in the fourth spot. Ricky Newton, who's got a pile of wins at Canandaigua and a win at Weedsport as well, finished in the top 5. 6 through 10 was Kane Bristol, James Sweeting, Paul Guerri, Tim Baker, and Matt Guerri. Heat race winners, Kevin Ridley, Kane Bristol, Dave Marchicelli. Crate Late Models, they had 3 cars there in attendance on Saturday night, and Chad Homan picked up another big win. Steve Pisaric was second, Frank Guerri Jr. in that third spot. Also had 3 305 sprint cars, and their 12-lap feature was Eric Carlson getting the win over David French and Dan Crown. Street Stocks, Pure Stocks, won by Mike Welch in the Street Stocks, and Jason Doty in the Pure Stocks. Rick Kriego, Charlie Harvey, Mark Manutlo, the top 5 finishers in that combined division. Mike Welch picked up the win in the heat race. And at the tail end, very interesting here, at the tail end of the press release put out by Canandaigua Motorsports Park, says here, it was announced that promoter Jeremy Corcoran was in the final phase of closing a deal to become the promoter at the Rolling Wheels Raceway Park. He had it announced that his first race at the Fast Track would be August 17th with the running of the scheduled Super Dirt Series. And boy, that was an interesting note just to kind of plop at the bottom of the press release for the night's racing activity. A lot of people had heard, the talks of the Shays wanting to become involved at Rolling Wheels, and then that fell through. And then, of course, the talk was that Glenn Donnelly was going to become involved, with things being delayed at Central New York Raceway Park. And then that never materialized, as it seems. And now, according to this report and report on Dirt Track Digest, Corcoran is getting ready to close out on this deal to promote Rolling Wheels here as early as later this week. So we'll have to see if we get any news back on that. That's definitely going to change things for the future of Rolling Wheels, without a doubt. And of course, things at Central New York Raceway Park, no news there. And the more days that we don't have news on that, the more days that everybody is really going to ramp up the speculation that Super Dirt Week is going to take place at Oswego Speedway. And there was a newspaper clipping that was circulating social media talking about, Oswego Speedway petitioning for, 100 campsites, I believe, in addition to what they already have, in the hopes that they could host Super Dirt Week. So we're going to keep our eye on that for sure. That's going to be big news if and when that ever comes out. So stay tuned to that. Stay tuned to all your racing media websites and wherever you get your news. Of course, Race Chaser Online is a great place to get that. Your motorsports, your way every day. You can find that online at racechaseronline.com. And as we look at some other things we had put out on Facebook today, taking a look at what people thought was the biggest story from this past weekend. And before I get out of here tonight, wanted to take a look over some of those. We had a lot of good responses. Popular response was AJ Slideways, Alan Johnson, getting his win to extend the streak to 42 years at Outlaw Speedway on Friday night. John Stewart saying that it was Alan Johnson without a doubt. Mel Thomas chiming in with Alan Johnson, 42nd year in a row, driving a modified. And then he also put in here Stuart Friesen wins 3 series races in a row for over $21,000. I mean, certainly that was big for sure. Brad Smith chiming in here with racing with Kenny Schrader, and I'm sure that had to have been a thrill this past weekend for him to be able to do that. Sean Shields from Riding the Cushion chimes in here. 8 different modified winners in 8 events at 5 Mile Point. Now, there's a stat for you. 8 different winners in 8 shows, so that's pretty cool. Dave Buchanan, one of the voices up at the Ransomville Speedway, up near Niagara Falls. 2 first-time winners in the sportsman classes at the Big R. So they had some first-time winners, and we love first-time winners. We sure love to hear that. Then you've got, Antonio chiming in here. Woodhall, Saturday with the pass Billy Van Pelt made to win the race. That was a thriller. And if you're just tuning in here late, be sure to catch the archived episode, as that was a thriller on Saturday. We had the last 3 laps we played earlier in the show, about probably at the 1 hour mark into the program, so check that out. That was a thrilling finish, no doubt about it. Dale Welty chiming in here. Kenny Schrader comes to Skyline Raceway Park, finishes 3rd in the IMCA main. I couldn't agree more with that. That was a great one. Dayton Brewer chiming in about himself. Dayton Brewer wins 1st of 2016 at Woodhall. That was certainly a big story, no doubt about it. Terry Zimmerman talking about the 50-lap street stock race at Woodhall, and yes, that was a very interesting race. They had a little trouble getting some green flag laps on the board early in the event, but once they did, they went something like 31 laps in a row, nonstop, and that was pretty thrilling too, because Gene Ballmer led a good portion of that race. Cece took over on lap 26, but he was able to take over as they were working their way through lap traffic, and it was just a matter of who was going to clear the lap traffic first, and Cece was able to get by, but then, as we said, with 5 to go, Stebbins would get by. Let's see. Travis chiming in here, 25-lap, 360 sprints, green to checkers at Selinsgrove. So that's a good race there. For the 360 sprints, I'll bet that didn't take long either, being the 25-lapper. Jake Maynard, IMCA modified driver and a good friend of the show. He actually didn't do any dirt racing this weekend, but he went out and watched some asphalt racing and went and met Matt Crafton. So that's pretty cool. And Matt Crafton, a guy that you want to keep your eyes on as they get ready to go truck racing at Eldora here in the next week. Keep your eye on Matt Crafton. He's always been a guy that has really worked on being able to get around the bottom of Eldora like nobody else in the truck series when they go to Eldora. So keep your eye on that for sure. Peter Mesko from Outlaw Speedway, AJ Slideways wins a feature 42 consecutive years at Outlaw Speedway. So yeah, a lot of people talking about Alan Johnson this week. No doubt about it. Dean Reynolds, the rain, the rain bad luck charm. He wasn't even racing this weekend. Said he lost his sunglasses at Breaking Benjamin concert. I know that was up there at the amphitheater. Some people call the Mistake on the Lake. If they're a race fan and not a big fan of that amphitheater up there. But I'm sure that it wasn't the Mistake on the Lake because Dean was there. But, he had a tough night. Went to a concert, saw some good music, I'm sure, but lost his sunglasses. So thank you guys so much for chiming in with all of your responses to the headline of your weekend, depending on where you went. That was fun. I think we'll probably do that again for sure, just to kind of see what everybody's thinking out there. But Hey, we've got to thank all the folks, Outlaw Speedway, Woodhall Raceway, the Hill Speedway, Skyline, Canandaigua Motorsports Park, getting all these results into us so we can talk about them. I hope you guys enjoyed the program tonight. Got to hear from all the winners at Outlaw Speedway, Woodhall Raceway, and even a little clip here and there about how the features finished out. We will be back here next Tuesday night with a live episode of Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. But for now, tune into the Facebook page, facebook.com/Turn5Live, as well as at Turn5Live on Twitter, as we will have updates on the winners, the top 5 of the Super Dirt Car Series at 5 Mile Point. Check it out. Check us out on YouTube, youtube.com, and search Turn 5 Live for all the archived episodes for Steve Ovens, Clint Miller, Brad Ovens, Jacob Seelman, Tom Baker, Bob Steele, the entire crew at the Performance Motorsports Network. We thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. for a brand new edition of Turn 5 Live right here on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Turn 5 Live is a copyrighted production of the Performance Motorsports Network. PerformanceMotorsportsNetwork.com is a member of the Scorpion Radio Group Incorporated and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of PMN. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host, co-host, and guest, and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and ownership of either the Performance Motorsports Network or Scorpion Radio Group Incorporated, the advertisers, or marketing partners. Thank you for listening to Turn 5 Live. You can listen to Turn 5 Live every Tuesday night right here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stay tuned for more great PMN programming.
Everything's better when she's around.